Hello and welcome to the Saltmarsh and the tavern therein for what will be our level 4 episode of Trials of the Tempest. Here we are, sitting very cosily on our little table in the corner, surveying the situation, contemplating the trials ahead. I think it's fair to say I've stumbled upon the first significant mistake I've made. It's not irredeemable, it's just going to put us a bit behind schedule, so to speak. If I had it to do again, feats wise, I think I would have gone dodge and mobility at 1 and 3 to enable us to get the whirlwind at 6, because AoE is at a premium and the lack of it is hurting us quite badly. As it is, we've got precision at 1, dodge at 3, it'll be mobility at 6, and we won't get the whirlwind until 9, which means we're going to be struggling somewhat against crowds, although we have been making good use of the cat scratch. That has been helping us, the only AoE that we have. So just to recap where we're at with the enhancements, we got all the way up to dex for hit and damage in the tabaxi tree, and I've begun to build now into the Tempest tree, ready for transferring into there completely at 6. When we get to 6, I will leave, I'll just leave those two. We have 2 racial points, just the ones that you get from the store on purple, so he will have the cat scratch still, which will be good. Still will be our only AoE source. It's on a relatively short cooldown, and I find myself blocking up doorways and trying not to get surrounded and keeping a very close eye on the cooldown of the cat scratch. What else was I going to say? There's plenty actually. So, although we've not been playing on Reaper, except for in the so to speak televised episodes, even Elite's been relatively challenging, to be fair. I have been looking ahead. I mean, we had this debate last time with the monk about ethereal items and ghostly items and ways to acquire these on the character, because I really don't want to keep having to swap over weapons whenever a Reaper does pop up. At the moment, weapon wise, we've got this duelist epee from the Saltmarsh that you've seen with the keen on it for the double crit range, and I also managed to pick up from the auction house a second, is that gonna highlight, there we go, a second rapier, also with keen and a bit of a bonus to attack speed there, so not terrible. I think they'll have the same damage ratings, won't they? Yeah, exactly the same, just no red slot on this one. So that was a lucky find. I'm keeping looking now for scimitars with a view to changing across at 6. If we could find a couple of keen scimitars, that would be very helpful, because it doesn't look like we're going to get the improved critical slashing for them until quite late in heroic. So if both the weapons were keen, it wouldn't matter so much. What else have I changed for level 4? Just these two, the mimic items. Mimic cloak, a bit of defense there, and the belt for some extra hit points and heal amp. I lied to you, I've changed a third item, and this is the discussion I was going to have. We had this last time, ethereal and ghostly things for hitting incorporeal targets. I've had to give up a significant buff to take this, namely the bottle of smoke, which gives the always on blur. Admittedly not as useful in Reaper mode, because it gets nerfed, but still, a source of plenty of misses. There is, as one of you mentioned in the last monk life there is 3-use light armour. Is it the smuggler's armour or something like that? Lurking in the Saltmarsh somewhere. 3 clickables of blur on a reasonably short duration, but it's still nice to have. And we could actually just wear it at this level with this character. It would be very nice to have. So we're on the hunt for that. We're also on the hunt for the sister rapier to this one. That would be quite nice to find. What could we use for ethereal items if we didn't use this Book of Spirits? Well, I checked the wiki. There is an ethereal ring which also drops in the Saltmarsh, and I think I'm right in saying, does that have a charge of invisibility? I would love to get that because purple has no invis item. So I would, and I would totally wear that as well at this level and put my bottle of smoke back on then. This, by the way, comes from the Gatekeeper's chain, which we've just run. We did okay in there. Actually, I say we've just run. We did it all apart from the one in the harbour, because that's a bit removed from all the others. We did okay in there. Nothing spectacular, but we died just the once in the fire elemental section. One of the bosses in there was very rough. So yes, what else could we have taken? The ethereal ring from this chain, and then from Feywild you've got the Duskbone ring and the Cold Iron Braces as options. I don't think we have either in heroic, so we'll definitely run the Fey as well on our way up this time and see what we can discover. Otherwise, there are ghostly items as well. Ship Major Tyre coming from this chain again would qualify as such. Otherwise, we've got the Dread Cloak and the Belt of the Black Sands from the Isle of Dread chain, and then you're going up to the Shadow Hail Cloak at 10 from Ravenloft, which we do have. We have the set there, so we'll be all right for ghostly from 10. And then at 15 with the Sharn gear, you've got the Celestial Ruby ring, which we could use Sharn crafting to add Dex 8 to for this life. I think we have one of those lurking about somewhere, so that's a possible as well. I've mentioned about the feats. Definitely if I had it to do again, I would have taken dodge at 1, mobility at 3, and then the AoE one, the whirlwind at 6. We have no crowd control at all. I do miss the bird in the monk life, although it's fair to say that the bird only came online, towards the back end of heroic, if I remember right. We will get the significant boost of the 3rd core in Deepwood. Probably at about the same stage we'd have got the bird in that monk life, and that will help us to soften some of the tougher opponents. That 4 or 5 seconds of bluff effect, is it, without a save, just gives you enough time to to get stuck into a Reaper or some kind of nasty opponent. By then, of course, we'll have the haste boost as well, so we could perhaps hit that attack and then the haste and try and delete something really horrible. I think that could be a half-decent strategy, but looking at it, I think that's going to be the only source of crowd control we're going to have, although it is a significant one. I've made a note here. I promised not to talk about boxes. Well, I guess I've lied. The Cat Scratch as an AoE is a pretty good box breaker instead of going plunk 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 with the single target things. Reaper points have been spent. Of course, let me just get rid of that. We're into the defensive and the melee tree predominantly. but I've also gone a couple into the caster tree just for now, just to get us an additional one Reaper charge, because at the moment we don't have haste boost, we don't have anything to sort of ramp up our damage against a nasty target, and we have no crowd control. So anytime something horrible pops up or an end boss, that's going to get triggered, and hopefully it will help us. 30 bonus on double strike I think is going to be quite significant for us. So I will be making use of the shrines resting to recover that, and doing our best to make the most of that, because that's the first real big boost that we've been able to acquire. We've just begun to acquire spells at level 4. The first one and the only one we're able to cast at the moment, Ram's Might, another 2 bonus to damage, so not bad at all. Other spells we could have considered and would like to pick up in future: the energy resists, jump, because I've not deliberately, it is a class skill for the ranger, but I thought with us getting the spell I won't bother investing anything in there. So energy resist and jump would be the 2 big ones from level 1 that I would like. Okay, I thought, given that we're looking for the sister rapier to the one we have now, what's it called, the duelist's epee, I thought we'd go and have a go at the quest that drops that. And that one is the Haunting of the Saltmarsh up in the house here on the top of the hill. There can be a rare just down here on the beach, so we'll have a quick look, see if it's there. One of our characters in the bear party knows by heart the location of all these rares, and oh, there you go, there he is. Let's see if we can some of these, well, all of these rare chests can contain named loot as far as I know. Not this time. And if you didn't know, I would definitely recommend to run Saltmarsh each life to build up a stock of the heroic items. For a start, because they're half decent at level anyway, but mainly because they are so easy to upgrade into epic, and you get the really good items, some of them, and you have a 5-piece set bonus, which is very nice too. So I would definitely consider doing that. I think I lied again. We did put one more piece. The gloves are new. They don't help us that much because radiance is obviously redundant, but resistance 3 to help the saves, natural armor 3 will help us a little bit. So speaking of resistance, I checked those, and we've got 10 extra for each one, so 15 on each at level 4 is not terrible by any means. We have a half decent amount of PRR and MRR at this level. Not terrible. Fortification is very good, because there's another item I didn't mention, the braces. Same one as we put on at level 4 each life. Sapphire of moderate fortification, awesome item at this level. 75% crit resistance, and spell saves and dodge is nice too. Of course at level 5 we'll go up to our Feywild stuff. I've re-added the minor petrify runestones. We will try them against nastier opponents, see if we can manage to neutralize them, but I remember from previous times that we struggled to get them to work past the lower levels. See, half decent saves. The reflex one is very nice, so the coming evasion at 9 should work really well. everything sort of going on decks is my idea for the build. Simple.
As you ascend the stairs, you hear an angry voice.
Hopefully we're going to see plenty of crits with the two rapiers we've got now equipped.
A small wooden trunk stands at the foot of the bed, its lid closed.
As soon as we take this key, it's all going to be kicking off. I'm going to hide in the corner here, so they can't, at least they can't surround us, and we're definitely going for the boost here. Okay, boost, go. And we do remember have the ethereal thing on our gear. I'll try the... Yes, it worked. One of them got turned to stone. Get the cat scratch back in there. It is unfortunately on a long cooldown, the turn to stone thing. Don't kill us, don't kill us. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we didn't do enough damage there to we needed to take them down quickly. So again, that's exposed our lack of AoE quite cruelly there, hasn't it? And it's something we're just going to have to deal with. Okay. We got the key at least. One box, I'll do one. No, I'll demonstrate the cat scratch. There you go. Handy little box breaker.
The kitchen is dirty.
Can we just hold the door here?
The stairs up are missing a few treads and smell of decay.
I don't want anything behind us.
The wall is locked with a heavy iron padlock.
So we're not setting anything on fire, are we, with the damage we're doing? It's not exactly, oh my god, look at that territory. Now, as I understand it in here, if you can get to the lever thing in the corner and pull that, the spiders disappear. But the Famine Reaper doesn't, so boost and get stuck in. Come on, don't miss. Oof, oof, massive hit. Wow, okay. See there again, the 4 or 5 seconds of the bluff thing from the Deepwood third core would have been so good there. Unfortunately, I can't use the Petrify runestones on those things.
Beyond this door lies a room so unlike anything else you have seen in the house that you pause for a moment, taken aback.
This is going to be a problem as well as a... Hang on, I've gone the wrong way there. It's not that way, is it? Please don't let anything come through there.
When you open this door, you're surprised to find
we're going to have other things as well as...
you couldn't just take our warnings and go on your merry way back to wherever you're from.
Maybe Hood of Unrest here.
I'll just have to stop you here.
Boost.
You got moves.
Oh, we've got mages. We've got mages and I can't get to them. Cat scratch. Oh, this is bad. Gotta get rid of these casters. Oh, we killed the assassin without even focusing him. That's good. Yeah, all this constructy, undeady stuff, we're suffering a damage penalty against, because our piercing is obviously not ideal against that. That's the reason I completely bypassed the chain in the... Oh, rust monsters. get
passage,
the old
suggesting the presence of human activity below.
switch back. Yeah, rust monsters have already wrecked my weapons often enough. I think one of the biggest differences between Reaper and Elite is in Elite I can just sneak on and get a nice heal in the middle of a combat from one of my potions, whereas on Reaper, as we see at the moment, it's just not even worth doing. Even when I was half dead, or more or less dead, in that first encounter up at the top, I chose to keep going and try and kill the thing than get a very modest heal. I'm boosting up here, and I'm going to make use of the shrine before we go into the final encounter to recover the boost. That's a cat scratch. Modest AoE, but it's still AoE. So you see there we've got some double strikes coming in there. Not exactly awesome damage, but a double strike is a double strike. As I understand it, and from what I've seen in other folks' videos, this Tempest thing is meant to be one of the strongest at the end game on single target damage, which would suggest to me it's not one of the easiest to level as more of a single target hitter, not a strike. It's a double strike build rather than a strike through. I think we could put it that way.
You emerge into a dingy
That said,
cavern with boxes of
between
gear
Whirlwind
lining its walls.
and the Dance of Death, I think we can get enough strike through to make it nowhere near as bad as like say a standard ranger, like an archer type thing, or maybe what would be another single target thing. The hand wrap monk, perhaps, I don't know.
You should have heeded our warnings and left this house while you have the chance. The wizard vanishes.
Okay, boost.
Copies of himself simmer in the gear in his place. You'll be dead long before you can see it.
Oh, Reaper, my goodness. Come on, kill him. Put him down. Yes. Now. Are we gonna survive? Come on. Hit him hard. Go on.
Your attack strikes and the
Whew.
wizard
Happy days and a Reaper point.
he asks in a pained voice.
Outside of the
You strike him.
videoed sections, I have been using Ellie, the cleric Hireling, but in the interest of the challenge for the videoed ones, I've not put her in.
Good time. For now, you content yourself with plundering the smuggler's wares.
And I think there you can see why. We have no way of keeping up the healing when we're under sustained fire. We're not getting hammered, are we? But we're getting sort of whittled away, so that we do need some in-combat heals, and I've just got no way of doing that to any reasonable level. And we've, of course, didn't get the other rapier we were looking for. If given the choice, I would probably prefer to get the blurry armor as an extra layer of defense. That would be very nice. Or maybe we could even have, there is a Saltmarsh set bonus if we could find enough items. I think that, is that epee part of the set? No, I don't think it is. So we're not wearing any Saltmarsh at the moment. So I doubt very much we'll get anything on the set bonus side. Okay, we leave you with this panoramic view overlooking the Saltmarsh. Happy at a quest complete, and knowing that the next one down there at the end of that little pier thing is going to be a bloodbath, because there are so many red bosses in that one. For me at least, that is comfortably the toughest quest in the Saltmarsh. But hopefully you won't get to see the many deaths that will ensue. Okay, that was level 4. Thank you very much as always for looking. I will speak to you in the next one. I plan to do the whole chain, maybe look for a few items that could help us along our way. Failing that, we will take the experience and make our way towards level 5. I will see you in the next one. Take care.